Every single person has the potential to earn $100,000 a year, but most people don't have what it takes to actually get it. Grit is like resilience. It means you're going to keep coming back, you're going to keep trying, you're going to keep doing no matter how many times you get knocked down, no matter how many times you get punched in the face, and no matter how many times you fail. My first real exposure to entrepreneurship was when I was in college. I started an event planning company where I started by hosting parties. And when I was 18 or 17, I started knocking on doors of every single club, venue, bar, and restaurant on campus because I wanted to start hosting these parties because I don't drink, I don't party, but I needed something to do on Friday nights, so I wanted to start hosting the parties. And I remember the first party that I hosted, it was on my own. I had finally secured a deal with this venue. They weren't going to cost me anything. They just wanted 50% of the revenue that I was going to bring in through the door. And I put together the deal and I spent months promoting, telling everybody about this party. I was trying to get the word out as much as I could because I didn't have a lot of money to spend. So I was doing everything that I could by myself to get the word out. And then the day of the event, at 10 a.m. The party starts at 10 p.m. At 10 a.m., the DJ for the party calls me up and tells me that the club got shut down the night before because they were serving alcohol to underage people. Now I had spent months putting together this event. I had spent some money, and I didn't have a lot of money, on putting it all together, hiring the night people, and getting it all ready. And now I found out that I don't have a venue. So now I'm scrambling the day of. I'm trying to do everything that I can to find a new venue. I'm trying to put it all together. I found a restaurant that would let us host this party now at 10 p.m. that same day. I had to tell everybody about it, got the word out about it, but now we don't have security. We don't have somebody to manage the door, and I ended up losing money now because the restaurant that I was hosting the party at wanted me to pay for damages. So I remember there was a bank right next to the restaurant, and I had to go to the ATM and pretty much pull out all the cash that I had in the bank and give it to this restaurant because I felt bad and I wanted to give them the money for the damages. And now I had this big dream of hosting this party and having this nice event planning company and starting it with a bang, and it started with a bang from my bank account. I could have easily stopped there and said, this is not for me, I don't want to do this, it's too much stress, it's too much headache, I don't want to do this anymore, but I didn't. I kept going and I kept trying, and eventually in the next year or two I had contracts with the biggest clubs on campus to host their parties every single Thursday for their college night events, and then I had contracts with other clubs to do other monthly events there. And so we became a pretty well-known event planning company in the Southeast Michigan area, all because I didn't stop after the one time I got screwed over. When I started investing in real estate, I dealt with my own headaches over there because I didn't know what I was doing. I just started investing in real estate, and one of the first properties that I had invested in, I bought this property because my contractor told me it was going to be a great deal. What I didn't know at the time was the only reason why my contractor told me to buy the property was because he needed money and he wanted me to give him a job. So now I hired my contractor to do the work, he took the money and it ran away. This was the biggest nightmare of my life in real estate because then once I hired somebody else to start doing the work, we found out that there were so many problems with this property. The repairs cost more than what the property was worth, and I had spent so much money on the property, and it dealt with headache, with headache, with headache. But if I stopped after that deal, I wouldn't have kept going and bought more real estate and learned more and got into multifamily real estate and learned more about how to do that. You learn from your mistakes. You're going to get screwed over. People are going to take advantage of you. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to lose money. Things are going to go wrong. But you got to keep getting back up. And you got to keep going even when it looks like everything is going wrong. Even when you see your bank account get drained to negative numbers, you got to keep going because that's what every great person did. They got beat up and they kept going. When I turned 20, I got into sales. First, I got my real estate salesperson's license, and then I got into wholesaling real estate. And a little bit into it, I started making pretty decent money. I was making a little bit over $10,000 a month as a salesperson while I was in college. And now I felt like I was rich because I was also doing my event planning business. I was working at weddings, and now I'm doing this real estate sales stuff, and I'm making great money. And in the sales business, it's all about how you look. It's all about what car you drive. It's all about what's on your wrist. It's all about the way you present yourself. And everybody here kept talking about the nice stuff that they had. And so I was thinking, all right, I make this good income. Now it's time for me to go out and buy this new BMW. And I was telling everybody about how I was going to go buy a BMW. But then I don't know what happened. But I started thinking about buying the BMW. And instead of buying the BMW, I decided to go out and buy another rental property. And that was the biggest turning point because I started to see, oh, I can go out and buy these rental properties, and instead of paying for the car, I can have something that's paying me for owning it. I was making good money, but all of my friends were buying the nice cars. I was making good money, but my friends were going on vacations. I was making good money, but my friends were eating at the nice restaurants. I wasn't doing any of that. I refused to travel. I refused to go out and eat at restaurants because I don't want to spend that money, and I refused to spend money on anything unless it was paying me money. And the biggest pain for me was not having that car. I wanted that car so bad to look like I made it before I had actually made it. Because when you have the car, it gives you that sense of validation. And now on the other side, I realized, wow, you really want the things that you can't have. Because when you have to stretch yourself to buy it, you really want it. But when you can comfortably afford the car and it doesn't affect you, now, buying the car doesn't really have that same meaning. It doesn't have the same purpose. It doesn't give you that same excitement because it's just another car. It doesn't matter. It's not like you have to go out of your way to look like you made it because you already made it. You're so comfortable and confident because you know where you are financially that the car doesn't provide any more validation for you. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.